You, yes you. I know why you didn't match into residency. Let's talk about it. What's up guys, my name is Dr. Safo Asante. I'm an urgent care physician, and on the side I provide mentorship programs and interview preparation to help people match into residency. My passion in general is success in whatever it is that I do, and success in whatever it is that you do. I love to hear success stories. So if you have any success stories, share with me, send me an email, write it down below. I love to read about those things. And if I've helped you, make sure you let me know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Why? Because that will help you match. I'm kidding, but just hit the like button because you should. I know why you matched, and I know why you didn't match. Let's talk about it. If I pick 10 random IMGs from the street, just 10 random IMGs, 6 of those 10 are going to match and 4 of those don't match, because about 40% or so IMGs don't match into residency. That's a lot of people. What is it that we're doing wrong? What is it that people are not doing and not matching to residency? Sometimes it's just a fluke, sometimes it's a specific reason. And I have a specific reason why I didn't match into residency. You might call it BS, or you might not. Stick along. Let's talk about some scenarios that are symptoms of the actual cause. Have you sat down and told yourself, hey, my exam is coming soon, I'm not doing well on my practice exams, I'm still going to take the exam, I'm going to rush to take the exam? Have you told yourself that I don't have any US clinical experiences, or I have just one US clinical experience and I'm going to apply? Have you told yourself that my personal statement, I've reviewed it myself, I haven't let anybody review it, I'm still going to submit it? My personal statement, I've had other people review it, but I've not had somebody who really knows what they're doing review it. And have you looked at your personal statement and said, I'm going to submit the personal statement without looking at the way it's going to look when the interviewers take a look at the application? If you've done any of those things, those are symptoms of an actual thing. That's the main reason why it didn't match. The main reason you didn't match is you did not have that aggressive desire to match. Oh, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not done yet. That aggressive desire to match involves 3 things. 1, there's a want to do something. 2, there's a decision that you're actually going to act on something to make that thing come into fruition. And then 3, you're going to put those things into action. That's aggressive desire. And a lot of people, they desire by just wanting. They don't have that aggressive desire to achieve what it is that they need to achieve. Now, you're thinking that semantics, that's kind of BS. No. These little things are very, very important. I've spoken to a bunch of people that match, people that didn't match, and I listen to stories all the time to try to figure out why. And I listen to the story and I try to pinpoint the exact areas that they went wrong. And the people that matched, I can sense this aggressive desire to match. And I listen to them, I'm like, that's why you matched, because you went above and beyond. You didn't leave any stone unturned. You made sure you did everything that you could. But let's take somebody that took the step 1 exam and they failed it. Sure, that failure makes it more difficult for you to get called in for an interview, or for them to review your application, because you get filtered out. Now, why did that happen? You did not have that aggressive desire to do everything that you need to do in order to match. You rushed. You rushed to take the exam. You didn't take your time to study for the exam properly, or if you did take your time to study for the exam properly, you did not fully understand the way that you were supposed to study. So you didn't research everything that you needed to research about the exam. You didn't figure out what are the things that can happen that can make you fail the exam. What are the things that you need to avoid doing in order not to fail the exam. You didn't make sure that you do all the practice tests. Like, all those little shortcuts that you took point to the fact that you don't have an aggressive desire to match. Because if you had an aggressive desire to match, you know that, hey, there's some red flags, that if I have these red flags, it makes it more difficult for me to match into residency. Not impossible when I say that, but it makes it more difficult for me to match into residency. You don't take that into account. Now, if you have aggressive desire to match into residency, you take into account all the things that could possibly affect your ability to match, and then you're trying to make sure that you give things the sufficient amount of time. You put into action the things that you need to put into action in the right way. So 1, you desire. 2, you make a decision. And 3, you put into action everything, not some of the things, everything. If you need to take more time to study for your exam and then apply for the next match, do that. Don't rush. If you need to review your personal statement and you don't know what a good personal statement looks like, find somebody who does. If they don't, pay somebody who does. Do everything that you can. If you're terrible at interviews, find somebody that's good at interviews. Have somebody help you. Do everything that you can. I have made a video on how to pass your exams, your step 1 exam. It's linked over here, so make sure that you watch that video so that it can help you pass your exam. If you haven't, this is for people that haven't taken the exam yet. Now, if you've already taken your exam, you already got your score and you already failed, it's still possible. But you have to show that aggressive desire to match into residency. If there were an unlimited amount of spots for us to match into residency, then none of this would matter. You just need to go through the motions and then you match. But you're in competition with other medical students. You're in competition with other foreign medical doctors. So you have to make sure that you have everything under control, that you do everything right. Because if you do little things that can throw you off, you're making it easier for other people. Now, when I applied, I loved people that didn't have that aggressive desire to match. Because even with my scores, which were not the best, I mean, they were okay, but I had a failure in my CS, I was still able to beat out people that had better scores than me because they didn't have the aggressive desire to match, and I did. If you're applying for the match, make sure you have the aggressive desire to match. Make sure you have the desire, you want to match, but that cannot be all. You gotta make the decision to do everything that you can in order to match. And that's the only thing that matters. You have to make that decision. And then finally, you have to put everything into action, everything that you need to match. Do everything. You already know most of the things that you need to do. You're just trying to find ways to circumvent doing those things. You already know these things. Do them. Watch my most recent video here. Make sure you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button for more videos. Dr. Safwa Santia.